Among the voices featured at the same town hall were those of two Arizonans known as angel parents because they have children killed by undocumented immigrants. Marianne Mendoza's son was killed in 2014. Brandon Mendoza, a Mesa police officer, was coming home from his shift when a wrong-way driver crashed into his car, killing them both. The driver was drunk and in the country illegally, and he also had a criminal history. Since then, Marianne has become outspoken about stricter immigration laws she believes could have prevented her son's death. Marianne, would you begin by telling me what the last 4.5, 5 years have been like for you?
It's nothing that I ever expected my life to be like at this time. I mean, the loss of a child is a terrible tragedy to endure in itself. But then to find out that it was at the hands of an illegal alien, who had committed crimes before and was shown leniency in our country, that just kind of spurred me into fighting for my son's memory and really to try and make a difference in this country so it doesn't happen to another family.
Since your son's death in May of 2014, I've seen interviews, I've read interviews with you, and one of the things that bothers you is the way politicians label this as a manufactured crisis.
Oh, absolutely, because, and I've invited some of the politicians who've made that statement, come to the cemetery with me and tell me that this is a manufactured crisis. I know it may only be one person to them, but I personally know probably 60 angel families that this has happened to. I've heard their tragic stories, and like I said this evening, this is a crisis created by our politicians because of their unwillingness to acknowledge us for decades. And so I blame all of them who have failed to step up and admit to the American public that we do have a crisis at our southern border. And it's not just for Americans. It is the illegal aliens who are crossing our border, and the family units, and the women and the children and some of the men. It's a humanitarian crisis, and we have to be worried about everybody. So you can't pick and choose who you're fighting for. It's either for all of humanity and what they're going through, or it's none. Shut your mouth. You just can't be for one and not the other.
After your son's death, you learned some things about the man who killed him, and we should note that individual also died. What bothered you the most about how this all transpired?
Because he had committed crimes up in Colorado in Adams County, and he didn't show up for his court date. He was released, to show up for court, which he didn't do. And then he just was kind of, here and going back to Mexico to see his family. And on one of his trips back home from seeing his family in 2002, he was caught at the border, taken back up to Adams County to face his charges. And the judge basically gave him a slap on the wrist and said, you shouldn't have done that and have a nice life. It was probably a week to a week and a half after Brandon was killed that I wasn't made aware that it was an illegal alien who had killed him. I honestly think Mesa Police Department was shielding me from that, just knowing, I had to grieve my son's death to begin with. But once that happened, I wrote a couple letters to President Obama at the time with no response. And I just knew that it was an uphill battle. We had politicians who didn't care.
Brandon would turn 37 this month. How do you want the American public to remember him?
He was a very kind, compassionate, 32-year-old man when he was killed. And he lived, he had put so much into his 32 years. It's almost like sometimes I think that subconsciously he knew something was going to happen to him. I can honestly say probably every week since my son's death, somebody has reached out to me to tell me an act of kindness that my son had done for them. They've seen me on TV and they said, I just want to tell you what your son had done for me. So it just warms my heart to know that this is the kind of man that he was. And he's inspired me to become a better person.
The Grant Ronnebeck Institute is a think tank, basically.
Marianne's pain is shared by Steve Ronnebeck. In 2015, his son Grant Ronnebeck was working his shift at a convenience store when a customer got angry and shot and killed him. Grant was 21 years old. According to the Arizona Republic, the suspect was facing deportation at the time, but was out on bond. Our conversation with Steve began with how he remembers his son.
Grant was, even from the minute he was born, the smile that was on his face and the pictures that you see, that smile, he was able to brighten up a room, even from the day he was born, with that smile. It was like a magnet.
An undocumented immigrant who shot your son, killed him, who had a criminal past. There are people who will say you can't paint
the same stroke over everybody from a certain population of people? Does that jive with you?
No. I'm not trying to paint one population or one group of people. Illegal alien is not a race. Illegal alien is a status. Are all illegal aliens bad? No, absolutely not. Some of them were great people. In fact, I know some that are just great people. They're good people. They're God-fearing, they're family-loving people. But then there's those that are coming here to take advantage of us, to take advantage of our social service systems, and basically take advantage of our country. And those are the ones I have a problem with.
You're on a crusade to be sure that Grant's death was not in vain. What do you hope comes of all this? How do you hope his life changes the world?
Number one, the awareness. The awareness that we have a problem. And part of that awareness is the drugs, is the sex trafficking, is the human trafficking. The other part of it is the sustainable population of our country and the freedoms that we hold dear. We keep letting millions of people in, free and clear. Crime goes up, the unemployment goes up because they're going to take jobs and work cheaper. All of that, it's a trickle-down effect. It's trickle-down economics. The second thing is that I don't necessarily want Grant remembered for what happened to him. But since it did happen, I'd like his name and him to be remembered as the face of something historic and something good. And let's be honest, it's pretty historic when you have 300 and some thousand American citizens that are opening up their wallets to do what our government hasn't been able to do. It's historic. It's epic. And, you know, when Grant was a teenager, he always said, you know, I'm going to be famous someday. I never wanted it to be this way.